Okay, and we begin another incredible week of learning Tefillah 5 minutes a day. I apologize for the late reminder about today's shir. Again, at the moment we're still holding it to 3 p.m. Could be we're going to be moving to the morning hours. We will update everyone. And we finished off, we're learning about Rina, about the incredible necessity to daven in a form of praise, in a form of song. And in the previous shir, Shimshon Pinkus taught us that what's the reason? Why are we davening in such a manner? And he said, not necessarily because we want to get what we need, which is a good reason if you think about it. We spoke about the incredible skula of Yirmiyahu and Avi, how everything we want can come via connecting to Hashem with praises. About the few moments of thought is that which it takes to realize when we say thank you Hashem and Baruch Hashem, wow, what do we have to just do? We have to channel it and connect and make it a little bit more real. Baruch Shem has taught us that why are we doing it? We're doing it because it's the MS, because it's the truth, not just because we want to get that which we want, because we're connecting to Hashem in this most real way, because this is the MS. And now Rav Shimshon Pinkus continues, and he quotes a Gemara in Pesachim, perhaps a well-known Gemara, and he says, Kashim mizaynais shel adam kikriyas yamsuf. Mizaynais, parnasa, is as difficult as kriyas yamsuf. What does that mean? So I'm sure for many who are listening to hearing, yeah, it's really schwer, it's really difficult to get a job, to hold the job. And even when one has the job, but to have a job that's sufficient in one's society to provide for him and for his family is not easy. That's absolutely accurate. And therefore, when one does have a job and he has parnasa, and Shimshon Pinkus says, for example, you go to the fridge, you open it up, you take a bottle of milk out to make yourself a coffee. You go and you have a piece of bread. If we were to realize, what does that mean? To get that piece of bread, to have that cup of coffee and milk, that's as difficult as Kriyas Yamsuf. Because if having parnasa is as difficult as Kriyas Yamsuf, that means when you indeed have it, that means we have to be as thankful as Kriyas Yamsuf. So he says, imagine for a moment, you're in Eretz, you're a part of Klal Yisrael. You just went and you witnessed the Yam splitting. You witnessed Kriyas Yamsuf. How would you feel? We can't even begin to fathom. But for a moment, let's try to internalize that feeling. That incredible euphoric joy. You just saw all the water in the world split. You just walked through an ocean on dry land. Can one even imagine? Can we even try to fathom and comprehend the incredible joy one would have? Of course not. So when you go and you grab that bottle of milk, when one has a job and he has parnasa, at some level we have to tap into that joy. And when we say that bracha, and when we thank Hashem for having our needs, and even if one doesn't have his needs fully, but he has bread, he has the very basics, that's a form of Rina, realizing how thankful we have to be. And he continues, and he quotes another Gemara, and the Gemara says, Rav Elazar ben Azariah teaches us that using the bathroom is as difficult as Kriyas Yamsuf. One thinks, what do you mean? I use the bathroom so many times a day. It's difficult as Kriyas Yamsuf. Let's just think. How many millions probably of different processes within the body have to work in order that one could use the bathroom. And unfortunately, Rahman al-Islam, when one goes through a difficult situation, perhaps a surgery, and he can't use the bathroom, the ultimate relief that he has afterwards when he could use the bathroom is indeed like Kriyas Yamsuf, the joy that he has to be able to finally relieve himself. So of course, to have that at every moment of the day is not so simple. But in reality, we just have to realize that that is what we're trying to tap into. That's the Rina. When one says Asher Yatzar, pause for a moment. Thank Hashem. Wow, I'm able to use the facilities. It's as great, says Rav Elazar ben Azariah, as the splitting of the sea. And finally, we conclude with the incredible words of Yeshua ben Levi, that whoever says Shira in this world will be Zaycha to say Shira in the next world. And Ashrei, and praiseworthy is he that has the ability to praise Hashem. And in reality, Az Yashir, what are we doing? We're singing as if we went through the Yam. So these are difficult to fathom this at every moment of the day, to realize every time we eat, every time we use the bathroom. But as we're slowly connecting more and more to the thanks, to the incredible recognition of thanks we need to have, we slowly elevate our praises, both for the food that we have and for the ability to use the bathroom, like Kriyas Yamsuf.